The title of this video should somewhere be along the lines of "The process has ended." And of course, I'm talking about the rebuild the Philadelphia 76ers had in the 2010s era. Over the last 10 years, the 76ers have had their ups and downs. But considerably speaking, they are now a perennial playoff team. So was the process really a failure like people make it out to be? And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. I plan to cover everything from the rebuilding stages all the way up to where I think Ben Simmons will be traded this offseason. But before we get into it, I'd like to bring something up. Only a very small percent of the people who actually watch these videos are subscribed to the channel. So if you enjoy this content and want to see more just like it, make sure to drop a like and leave a sub. That way you'll be recommended to my future content. And now that that's out of the way, let's jump right into the video. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the Sixers prior to 2016. From 2013 all the way up into the end of the 2015-2016 season, the Sixers had only managed to win 47 games in 3 seasons. But it wasn't as if the team's roster was just flat out bad. It's just that their star draft picks were unable to play due to injury. And these draft picks I'm talking about is of course Joel Embiid, who was drafted in 2014, and Ben Simmons, who was drafted in 2016. The injury issue started to frustrate most Sixers fans, but little did they know what would happen in the 2017 season. For the process's first relatively healthy season, they finished with a 52-30 record, finishing with the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. And this hints the point where the so-called process looked as if it would run the league for a very long time. But fast forward a couple years, and this is where we're at.
We've got breaking news in the NBA. Ben Simmons telling the Philadelphia front office that he does not want to be a 76er anymore.
It's safe to say that the era of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons together in Philly are coming to an end. And my thoughts on this situation go against the popular opinions. I think the problems that we've seen in Philadelphia over the past couple of months is strictly due to the management and the staff's issues. They have completely mistreated Ben Simmons. Whether it was him being in trade talks for James Harden for like 3 months, or Doc Rivers questioning his ability to be a championship point guard, it's very apparent that the Sixers don't value him as a player. And to add on to all that, he probably couldn't even show his face in Philly without getting booed. And all that combined has basically led us to the point where Ben Simmons has demanded a trade. And Philly's rebuttal to this was to put 3 players from the team on a private jet and send them down to LA to talk with Simmons. And Ben basically shut that shit down, as he said he does not plan to ever suit up for Philly again. And regardless of if they even could convince Simmons to stay in Philly this season, the second an opportunity came to trade for a superstar, they would package him in a heartbeat. Because we all know in the back of our minds, if a superstar player requested off their team, the Sixers would have already traded Ben Simmons for that player. And since a superstar player isn't on the board, that's where the issues occur. Is because they don't want to let their all-star point guard up for a couple of role guys and a couple of first-round picks. Because it's simply just not worth trading him for that. But like I said, now it's at the point where it's too late for sorries, it's too late for apologies, it's too late for band-aids. We can't fix this situation, so they just need to trade him already. And my ideal trade would be for Ben Simmons to go team up with Dame in Portland. Because the Blazers could offer CJ McCollum, a guy like Nasir Little, and a couple of first-round picks, and that's probably the best offer that the Sixers are going to receive. It would give Philadelphia another scoring option to help that lackluster playoff offense that we were just shown, and it would give Portland a lockdown defender who would be another all-star to pair next to Damian Lillard. And all my Philly fans out there, y'all are probably going to say, well, this makes our team significantly worse. And yeah, you'd be absolutely right, it does. But it's at the point where you're going to have to take next to nothing to get Simmons' contract off your team because he clearly isn't going to play for y'all. And hopefully this will open the eyes of Philly fans and the Philly organization to finally start treating their players with more respect. And there's just one thing else I need to get off my chest before I can end this video. And that's a message to Philadelphia fans. Please stop using Ben Simmons as a scapegoat. Your team just isn't championship ready. Literally, you can see for yourself. Just go rewatch the Hawks series and you will see Joel sometimes didn't play like the Joel we know. Doc Rivers did not coach a good series. Guys like Matisse Thybulle messing up. Just all in all, this team did not have a good series against the Hawks. They came to play, and at the end of the day, you got sent home. And just because Ben Simmons was a big factor in why y'all lost, doesn't mean if you get rid of him, y'all are automatically a better team than y'all were. Because that's just not how it works. And that's really all I have to say today. So if you guys have any future videos that I could do, please drop those in the comments. And thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.